Hi. So this is Anna Imagination from the Healing Garden. I decided to play around with a new location because I love these windows, but I know nothing about photography and light. So I'm going to move. I thought, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I'm going to sit here. And then I can see that photography and light are a thing. So let me move. We're going to, yeah, just give me a minute. I need to figure out how to do test videos, and I don't know how to do those yet. So that's my view. But unfortunately, the light is not compatible with my face. So, okay, we're going to go ahead. I'm in the living room now, which is wonderful because I just moved. Well, I didn't just move. I've been here for a while now, but my things just arrived and my roommates moved out. So I now have the place to myself. So I'm stretching my legs and I'm just, it's wonderful. So I have access to new locations now in the house and oh my God, it's wonderful. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do some meditation. Just a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And in and a deep breath out. We're just going to sit for a minute. Examine your body and look all over your body for any discomfort. Any things that are unsettling. Okay, and deep breath in and out. And in and out. And we're going to do some mantras. I'm going to use, if everything's going to be okay, just repeat after me. Everything is going to be okay. Everything will work out perfectly. Inhale. Everything is going to be okay. Exhale. Everything will work out perfectly. Inhale and exhale. When I first started mantras, I was very skeptical. And if you're skeptical, they don't work. Words are very much like, they start off as placebo effects. They're 100% placebos. And if you believe, actually, I think I have my wording all wrong in this. Let me try this again. When a person uses a placebo, they're using manifestation, but they don't know it. When you have a placebo and you're given it and you're told a lie, you're told that it's X and it works because you believe it works. And you believe wholeheartedly in the power of the medication you're being given. But if you're just being given a sugar pill, manifestation very much does work because placebo effects are very much a thing. And the people who placebo effects don't work on are the people who, inside their mind, when they take the medication, they think things like, my pain is really vast. I hope this works. It's because they doubt the power of the medication. Not because the manifestation doesn't work. It's because they doubt the power of the medication. It's like when you have a headache and you pop a couple of ibuprofen. There's people who are like fully confident that the ibuprofen will do it. And then there's people who think, I really hope this works. And then there's people who, when they take the medication, they think things like, I'll try, but it's not going to work. And as soon as you enter into the realm of I'll try, that's doubt. And it could be doubt for many reasons. Maybe your migraines or your headaches are so strong that even the ibuprofen rarely takes effect. See a doctor, please. See a doctor if that's the case, please. My mom suffers from migraines, and migraines are not normal. They are not supposed to be normal. If you suffer from migraines, there is a problem. Please go see a doctor, please. Um, that being said, like that's a huge thing I have in general. That's like one of my things of, you know, how everyone's like agenda is super hyper focused on something. Mine is headaches because I never get them. But I have met people I love, or well, I have people I love who suffer from them, and they are so used to them that they think they're normal. But not having migraines is actually normal. I guess it's normal depending upon what's normal for you. But the human body is not supposed to have migraines or headaches. So this is like my thing of, if you suffer from headaches, please talk to a doctor. You're not supposed to. So I'm going to leave that alone now. But then there's people where they take the medication and they have maybe smaller amounts of doubt. So now you're looking at the 50% range. But then there are people who have full confidence in the medicinal department of ibuprofen. That's me. I am like, yeah, I am right there with, like, if I am having joint pain or swelling, I am fully confident. But it's the confidence and it's the belief that absolutely, that's part of why the medicine works, of course, but it's also part of why it doesn't work sometimes. When you do have, and this is something I've seen, where you're given a medication and you doubt that the medication works, even though the medication is highly effective, your manifesting it won't work actually trumps a working medication. That is how powerful manifestation is. It's absolutely extraordinary. So when I got into manifestation and studying the physics behind it, studying where in the brain it is, how it's related to the cognitive core, all of this, it it's a very clear, like, oh, this is something legit. It's extraordinary to see how much the universe requires alignment. It's like you have a clock, all the clockwork inside of a clock, and it is such intricate, tedious detail that it's imperative that all of this stuff is aligned. It's all on the same page. This is mandatory because the clockwork is so fine tuned that if it's even off a little bit with alignment, the whole thing is not going to work. It'll jam up. The universe is very much exactly like that. The whole thing is clockwork, and it cannot afford alignment. So our minds, our subconscious minds, and our universe completely revolves around making sure that there's alignment in the clockwork. It's to the point where it's actually installed. The universe has installed, and our subconscious minds have installed an attunement system to make sure it stays aligned. That is how important alignment is to functioning and our lives, so that it will prioritize the alignment above all else. It flabbergasts me that this information has not been, like, these conclusions have not been put out there all over the place. Like, this is such a core, it's kindergarten class. We all need to sit down and read and write and do arithmetic and talk about the alignment. That is how absolutely dire this understanding is for human survival and happiness. It used to be, I don't know. I don't know if it ever was aligned. I think it was aligned. I think it stopped being aligned when humans started to mess around with it. There is this book I used to read. This book I once read. I loved it so much. And it was about this woman who lived in Scotland in the 17th, 18th century. She lived in Scotland in the early 18th century. And her frequency was so tuned into the nature and the energy of Scotland that she moved as if she were part of the nature. And then she married a Britishman. An Englishman came in and she married him. And then she was taken to England. And the clothing, the structure, everything about her language, none of it was compatible. She ended up enduring a lot of abuse. Now, the book then does a 20-year skip, and you see her 20 years later. And what has happened is she has this moment very early on in her marriage where she announces, I'm not British and I'm not going to try and be British. I am Scottish. And she, in this early 18th century lifestyle, she takes off, she goes barefoot, she completely lets her hair down, and she just embraces her roots. And she aligns. Authenticity is your alignment. And when she aligns to her own energy, she finds herself again and she's home again. And what she ends up doing is providing other Englishmen a safe haven for a sanctuary of being yourself and getting away from that. So she's having a dinner party in this particular saying, and it's 20 years later, and she's got these very formal Englishmen who have also relaxed. They're barefoot. They're talking about one of the wives, how she doesn't dare go to that extreme, but it's enough that she can at least loosen her corset a little bit. And it's very much in alignment. And I think that's how we used to be, where outside of a strict culture, people can relax. We see this with native cultures. We see this a lot with cultures that are more tuned into the energy. But then when you get away from the energy and you're in that city like London, Tokyo, Japan, the Asian cultures with how strict they are in some locations, and then you get into, of course, the United States with how strict certain religions and cultures expect us to behave, we step away from the natural alignment of ourselves. It's really a man versus nature. Really, it is. And some men, some people are tuned into the nature. And when you really are aligned because you're tuned into the nature. But if you're not tuned into the nature, you're tuned into man's system. And when you're tuned into man's system, it takes you away from the nature. And that's when your alignment really starts to get off because you require the nature as a means to, it's your tuning fork. It's your, it's the thing that keeps your clockwork functioning proper. It reminds you where your alignment should be for you. And when we're in man's society, adhering to man's laws and rules, we get away from that. And the more we get away from it, the more we lose ourselves because we're trying to shape ourselves and our minds around the expectations of a society instead of around the expectations or the requirements of nature. And some people are so tuned into it that when it comes to expectations, they can't function. They absolutely break down. So when you meditate, you're seeking your authenticity. That's really what you're doing. You're seeking your alignment. And to do that, you have to talk to your subconscious mind. You have to talk to your identity. And you have to really just start up the conversations and become aware of it. I was at the doctor's office yesterday, and the doctor made a comment that really just blew me away. She mentioned that the body is a machine. Now, in my studies and in all of my stuff that I put out there, I am adamant about the subconscious mind being a machine. I didn't realize the body was a machine. And then with her comment, I just had this massive perspective shift of, oh, the subconscious mind is part of the body. So you've got this, and that got me thinking about what parts of us are consciously aware. Well, we have the self, that's us, that's you, that you're the one who's absorbing this information, you're consciously aware. Our identity is consciously aware. Our identity is so consciously aware that she screams all day long at what we need and what we want and where we want to go and what we desire. That's conscious awareness. And then you have an intuition that's giving you an emotion saying that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. That's not comfortable to me. That's making me really pulling at me. That is your conscious awareness again, pulling you in another direction. And when the self is fully conscious aware, but it's all these other alignments and moving parts that aren't consciously aware. And when it all comes together, when you start to put the subconscious mind where it belongs in its place, it's really this realization that you can step back and retune your clockwork. So when you sit down with your authenticity and you just, manifestation has a power to it. It really does. And a lot of people believe that mental illness is caused by abuse, and it's not. It's caused by our beliefs. Our beliefs create the mental illness because you can be abused and shrug it off. Some people can. Some people can get abused and it won't embed and turn itself into a trauma. It doesn't. Other people are abused and it does transfer into a trauma. The difference is your belief. Trauma does not cause mental illness. Your belief system does. And I've put this out there and I get a lot of different responses to it. People who have healed all confirm, oh, yeah, that's true. Because when you heal, you realize the problem was never the abuse. The problem was the beliefs. Now, the abuse can push on your beliefs and alter them into a toxic mental illness belief. And that's really what's taking place, which means you can take it back. You can take your belief back. But that is how powerful beliefs are. And we've been conditioned by our society so strongly that you can't cure mental illness, that beliefs are not the cause of mental illness, abuse is, that people are being directed to go one direction, and it's absolutely away from the truth. It's away from the realization that this is why two people can be abused the exact same way, and one person will end up with a mental illness and the other person won't. Look at children who are siblings in a family. You've got 5 children in a family, there's abuse happening. Some of them create mental illnesses or develop mental illnesses. Some of them don't. Why? Because of the belief systems of each of the children, not because of the abuse. It's because of the beliefs. And when you have someone who's optimistic, who can see the bright side, and they adopt a mentality, a mindset that says, I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm not going to let this get me down. That's the belief that protects their entire subconscious mind from trauma so that the rewiring doesn't happen because the belief is solid. So when you're abused, it's your belief system versus your abusers. Are you going to win or are they going to win? When you heal, all you're doing is taking back your belief system and you're rejecting theirs. It is literally a battle of beliefs. Oh, I'm going to say that again. It is a battle of beliefs when you are both like, that's really what it is. And when you stop focusing on what was done to you and you start focusing on your belief system, the game changes. You become mentally healthy because it's all about the belief. So when you meditate, really adopt the beliefs you want to adopt. Choose which beliefs you want. Choose the perspective and then decide which beliefs are going to give you that perspective and then take them and claim them for your own. That's healing. That is really what you are doing. So deep breath in, deep breath out, and deep breath in, and deep breath out. Deep breath in and out. Clear your mind and just sit with it for a moment. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I will definitely be seeing you later. I have a masterclass that starts on the 14th. It is currently 98% off. Go grab the link. That information is available on my website. And subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my newsletter. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.